rally and protest. This shows us that the Arab and Muslim youth are still vibrant, they're still committed to the struggle, and they're not busy shopping or thinking about the frivolous things in life. So this is really their contribution for organizing us and bringing us in here. I'm speaking on behalf of the American Muslims for Palestine. It's a national organization and I serve as the chair for it. Now, we are at a time where injustice, oppression, and insidious disregard for human life is being so prevalent that it gives you a gut feeling that there is something fundamentally wrong in the world that we live in. At a time where those who lie are celebrated, at a time where those who are robbing us blind in Wall Street are being thought of as smart investors, at a time where a president that invaded 2 countries is celebrated and thought of as a person that have reoriented American foreign policy, at a time where a professor who authorized and supported torture gets a endowed chair in the law school at UC Berkeley, at a time where young immigrants fleeing violence, oppression, and the dismantlement of their economies in Latin America, in North Africa, in Sub-Saharan Africa, are being thought as terrorists or a threat to our society. There is fundamental something wrong in the world that we live in. When we speak about the oppression taking place in Gaza, we need to think that every street that we were walking on, whether it's in San Francisco, in Detroit, in Latin America, in Mexico, in Venezuela, every street reminds us that is a part of Palestine because we are all feeling the dispossession of the Palestinians. Now what we need to understand what is taking place in Palestine. This is a colonial settler program. Settler colonialism is structured on genocide and dispossession of the indigenous population. We should not be deluded not to understand that the Americas had the most successful genocide settler colonial program. And as such, when we think of Palestine, we need to think of settler colonialism. It commits genocide against the indigenous population because it does not want the people, it wants the land. A land without a people, for a people without the land, have to be brought into reality by means of genocide. For Palestine have always had a people from time immemorial. If you don't believe me, just read all the historical texts, go through the archaeological evidence, go about everything. Every time archaeologists dig down, a Canaanite came out standing to them saying, "Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!" Now, Israel says, and some of our people in Washington, and I know Washington is Israeli occupied territories, and that's why you hear them saying the same thing they say, because they're beholden to AIPAC. Israel says that it has the right to defend itself. Well, can't we ask the question, does the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves? And if they do, then why is it that the United States would not send them F-16? Why is it that the United States would not give them tanks, armaments? But no, it supports the aggressors. It supports settler colonialism. It supports Israel at the expense of the Palestinians. And now we are here gathered in the UN Plaza. And I know the UN Plaza is symbolic, but the United Nations has become an instrument for US foreign policy and for making the Israeli aggression something that international law is completely silent and deaf to. So we need not only to critique UN structure, but we need to fundamentally change the relationship that governs the United Nations and international law, because international law has become an instrument for the powerful to maintain their advantage over the powerless, to maintain what they stole from those whom they stole with, completing and maintaining the dispossession by means of a civilized international code. So we need to challenge and critique this fundamentally, especially as we're speaking here in the UN Plaza. Now, we'll speak about the 3 Israeli settlers that were taken as or kidnapped in the West Bank. And it is important for us to feel the suffering and pain of every human being. But when will be feeling the suffering of the Palestinian nation that has been kidnapped for the past 67 years? We as a nation have been kidnapped for 67 years, dispossessed of our cities, our villages been destroyed, our orchards been taken, our banks been taken, our cars, our vineyards. Everything that has meaning to the Palestinians have been taken and held hostage, including books. Israel, one of those countries that actually took books, stole books from people's library, stole books from archives and take it into Tel Aviv University and Ben Gurion University. This is the modern process of a genocide directed at the Palestinians. So we need to remind them that the whole of Palestine has been kidnapped. Speaking about President Obama, he only feels the pain of Israeli mothers. I'm not saying to President Obama, stop answering for Netanyahu's phone call and look with the eyes of Martin Luther King at the world. You reached the White House on the backs of people who struggled from can't see in the morning till can't see at night, from those workers who striked on the shores, from the civil rights movement, from those who organized day in and day out for you to reach the White House, not to maintain it white, but actually to make it a house that will be representative of those who struggled to get you to that place. So when you pick up the phone, and only answering to Netanyahu, you'll be beholden to the white man principle of settler colonialism, and we want you to be and we want you to reflect a different politics that got you into the White House. Lastly, Israel is powerful militarily. It has powerful friends in important places. It had the corporate structure behind it, but it lacks the moral, ethical foundation and power. We have the ethical, moral power, and those who have the ethical and moral power will win. Palestine will be free. The arc of justice is very long, but it tilts toward justice. The arc of history is very long, but it tilts toward justice. And we're confident, we're sure, more sure than our standing here, that we will be back to Palestine. We will be back to Palestine to celebrate the collective victory that is not only from us in here, but internationally. Palestine today is the symbol for the world over, not because of the Palestinian, but in every person there is a reflection of their feeling of dispossession, their feeling of weakness, their feeling that is something fundamentally wrong that has dispossessed them. And for that, we say the 99% of the world are for a free Palestine, and it is time that we all will witness free Palestine. And if it's not us, it will be our children. No make mistake about it. It is something that we all have to be sure and confident about, and hopefully collectively we will see and witness a free Palestine. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.